Hello everybody, Nick here. This is a reaction to Doctor Who Time Lord Victorious, Daleks Episode 1, The Archive of Islos. This is the first episode of the Dalek webcast mini-series being released for Time Lord Victorious, which is the Doctor Who multi-platform event that spreads across multiple Doctor Who merchandise, merchandise and different platforms and different merchandise and stuff. In this case, it is a animated webcast mini-series focusing on the Daleks themselves. So, Daleks, episode 1, The Archive of Islos. The plot of this episode sees the Daleks attempting to acquire this archive on this planet called Islos, and these robots are trying to stop them. We don't actually know what the Daleks are actually wanting at this point in time. Maybe we'll find out later in the series. That is my only kind of nitpick with this episode, is that we don't actually know why the Daleks are looking for them. It's theorized by the robots, but we don't know what. This could be explained later on in the series. This is only the first episode. Besides that, this is a brilliant episode. This is absolutely brilliant. This is so good. For starters, Nicholas Briggs, outstanding as the voice of the Daleks, gets to do a range of Dalek voices, including a really creepy Emperor, an even creepier Dalek Khan-esque Dalek strategist, and a kind of impatient Dalek executioner, who may or may not be the one who is out in the field of battle to begin with, and then pops back onto the ship. Maybe that was the Supreme on the in the battle at the start. Some really great CGI animation here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it still looks really good and really impressive and really cool. We'll say that the Dalek guns, when we get to the planet, they go red for some reason instead of blue, but, you know, I won't hold it against that. Dalek guns have changed colours a few times. They're mainly blue, but the Imperial Daleks from 1988 had red lasers, maybe to distinguish them from the the Renegade Daleks. So I won't hold it against them too much. The robots on the archive, brilliant, especially the leader one, which is a golden one. I can't remember who voiced her, but she is great. She's a robot, but she has so many human personalities, including a really good sense of humor. That was really cool. I really like that, and I think there's a bit of a human emotional side to both the robots and the Daleks in this episode. There's some really good emotion in there, considering the Daleks don't have many emotions. They got enough to fuel their hatred of the universe, but there seems to be some additional emotions in there, which is interesting. We get to see the psyche of the Daleks and more about them, I suppose. With the robots, it's just funny. Not to the sense of being camp, it's just that they've got a sense of humour, and it's quite enjoyable. Very enjoyable. In fact, when the robot said, "We have a big door," when Dalek Emperor asked what stands between the Daleks and them, the robot says, "A big door," and I laughed at that. I thought that was amazing. Some really great writing by James Goss, who's doing this whole Time Lord Victorious thing, and he does a fantastic job in writing this episode. And like I said, the animation is brilliant. The acting is brilliant, especially from Nicholas Briggs, and also the voice actress of the main robot. Story ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, where it's where the robots have made a deal with another species through a portal, and they've sent their creators and the archive itself have actually gone through the portal, and in exchange, the creatures that have come to save them are coming for the Daleks. So that's something to look forward to in the next couple of episodes, at least in the next one. We'll see how it goes. Most of this episode is focused on the Daleks, especially the Dalek Emperor, which is in the gold giant-headed one based on the ones from the 1960s comics. And it's just a really great and really enjoyable episode. It may look like it's not going very far to begin with, maybe more around the middle. It doesn't look like it's going very far in the middle, but once we get to the end, we can see it was leading to something, and it's only going to grow in the next couple of episodes. It is definitely a very first episode feel episode. It's definitely a very beginning of a story arc or overall story, but it works to a effective measure, and the humour makes it worth a watch alone, as well as the brilliant acting and performance, especially by Nicholas Briggs. So, to round off this reaction, this was a brilliant episode, and I really enjoyed it. This is only a first viewing reaction. This is after a few minutes of watching it. I'll do a full review of the entire series after the final episodes come out, and I'll do individual reactions for each episode. and I'll give an individual score after doing a brief bit of each episode in the review, plus a ranking at the very end. So providing I remember, of course. But yeah, this was a great first episode, and I look forward to seeing where the rest of the series goes. I'm not sure how many episodes they're going to be. Maybe about, I think, 5, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be 6, it could be 4. It could be more, it could be less. It's definitely going to be more than 1. Obviously, I think it's going to be 5. Not sure, but I'm looking forward to the rest of this series when it comes along, and yeah, I hope to look forward. I hope to enjoy it. That's it from me. Thank you for watching this reaction. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.